Hi, this is Dave with DRH Acrylic Creations. Today we're going to be doing another dirty swipe on a 6x6 tile. My PPG Multi-Pro pillow is going down. I really haven't begun to think this is probably the best pillow I've ever worked with. So nice and stretchy and holds up against the colors and allows the colors to float without sinking, which is a key component. This is Lattè, and it's a TLP color. You can get these at FluidArt.co, and I'll put that down in the description below, so if you're interested in going and checking it out. Our next color is Pebeo Blue Black. It's a beautiful gray, but has a denim-like undertone to it. It's actually one of my favorite colors. Thinning this down with Josonia varnish and water, and that's at about a 9:1 ratio. But that color is very flexible, and it goes very well with darker palettes where you want just that color of blue coming through. This is my first cell activator. This is Iridescent Gold, and it's a combination of Iridescent Gold, light and deep, and that's mixed with 3 parts Australian floetrol. What I'm putting on the back of this palette knife first is titanium white. And both of these cell activators have been Amsterdam products. Okay, you can see the layering here, how I'm going to layer it. First down is going to be King of Paine, and King of Paine, which I probably think I missed when I went through there, is a TLP color. It's TLP's version of Paine's Gray. Okay, first thing down is King of Paine. Just a light drizzle. Hence the reason why this is called a dirty swipe. It's everything goes on the back of the palette knife, and because of that, there's a lot of mixing between colors. So you don't get a clean separation between things. And this is the blue black. And this Pebeo blue black, I don't know, I think it's probably one of my favorite iridescent pearlescent colors for this kind of palette. It just works. Okay, I'm going to do a small swipe here. You can immediately see the cells forming. One of the most satisfying part of fluid art is seeing the cells just immediately start to plop. I'm going to load up the back of the palette knife again, and I'm going to start out with the Amsterdam Iridescent Gold. That is mixed with 1 part paint to 3 part Australian floetrol. Then I'm going to take the Lattè and put it on top of that. Now, to be honest with you, the Lattè and the gold just doesn't have enough contrast for me. But this is part of the joy of fluid art, discovering what works and what doesn't. I'm going to swipe this, take it down a little closer so you can see how this develops. Now, the gold develops in a different way than a lot of my other cell activators. And quite honestly, the cell activators, depending on the color and the weight of the pigment, are going to act differently. Time to scoop and drag. And this is just, I'm going to go underneath so that I can grab some of the paint and drag it out. To not only drag out cells, but to create some more interest with the composition. And do it again. And just to bring it out and try to figure out where this piece is going. And I'm kind of actually trying to salvage this because I'm not really, at the time of the swipe, I was like, I don't know if this is going to go anywhere. So if this is going to lend itself. But I'll let you be the judge at the end. Okay, I'm just trying to decide what I should attack next. Give it a small spin. See if I can open up the cells. I also need to start moving some of the paint off of the tile. And I'm noticing I've got those little corners that won't flow. So, and what I mean by not flow, I mean it's just you have to have some paint down there. That's a point to the pillow paint to give the color layer something to float across. When you have a dry surface, you don't get the flow. It'll actually fold underneath the paint that's there, and so a lot of time you'll lose some of the things that you really like. So put some pillow paint in those corners and it solves that problem. And I'm pulling the paint down much the same as I did with the color later to spread that out just a little bit. Okay, give it another spin. Generally speaking, I try to spin in both directions. My theory behind that is that it keeps your cells from getting wonky, uneven, and not roundish. That is what I'm looking for. Sometimes I like it to be wonky. Wonky's not always bad. This piece is going to have, for such a small tile, it's going to have a lot of negative space. And as far as I'm concerned, negative space is not a bad thing. As you can see there, that paint is still moving. So it tells me I have quite a bit of paint on that tile that needs to be moved off. And the reason for that is when you leave too much paint on the tile, you risk of crazing or cracking. Unless that's a look you're looking for, it's good to get as much of this paint off as you can. Another soft spin. That one's not so soft. My rule of thumb is if you're doing a soft spin, you can let it go for a while longer. But if you do a fast spin, so much can change in so little time. You really have to kind of be cautious of that. Tilting it more to see how much paint that's there, and I'm seeing it's actually starting to have a little enough paint that I'm not going to have a problem. So now it's time to maybe play some fun and games, a little bit more on the modifications. It's about this time that I started realizing this resembled fish of sorts, and so I started going in that direction. One of the things I didn't see in this is I didn't see a lot of the Lattè. And I was kind of disappointed with that because it didn't shine through. The Lattè has a dual, it has a little bit of a undertone to it, and it's beautiful and it's subtle. So I need to really see if I can find a color palette that will showcase that. Okay, I have a lot of that gold activator that was on me that spun off, and I said, well, let's see if we can put it to use. Brought it up and swiped it onto the tile. And the point is to allow the paint to flow off naturally without pushing it too fast. So, a little bit of patience that has to happen here. Okay, I'm going to take some time and look and see how much paint. Again, I think I have enough off now. How much paint and whatever I do with the composition, if I want to make any changes, do any embellishments, and generally where it needs to go. And I'll pick up my skewer, and I think I'm gonna try to decide how I want to approach getting some more Lattè on the canvas, or on the tile rather. So I picked up my Lattè, and I just dip my skewer in it, and do it as organically as I can so it looks like it belongs there, looks like it was there naturally, and add some highlights. Take you down so you can see what I'm doing. And it's really subtle. The difference between the gold and the Lattè is very minimal, and I think next time I'll try to find something a different color, but I've said that already. But it does give it a nice outline, and you'll see that in the final. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to leave, please do put them down in the comments section. I enjoy hearing from all of you. If you have any ideas of things you'd like to see in the future, please include those also. I'll let you watch for a while. This process is so very zen for me. I kind of get lost in the process, and I just what it is about fluid art that I really enjoy. Kind of get lost in the process. I'd pretty much convinced myself that this was basically a fish, and every fish needs an eye. So there you go. Right square dab in the middle of that cell. And I think we are about there. Move this off the spinner and onto my drying rack. Give you a little closer look before I put it down. And I think it's time for the flyover. I hope you've enjoyed this. If so, I'd invite you to leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and ring that bell for notifications of future videos that I'll put out. It's my goal to put out at least 2 per week. I hope you've enjoyed this journey, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for coming by. Bye now.